In a move that has sent shockwaves through global trade, former President Donald Trump has imposed a sweeping 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports. This decision, which eliminates previous exemptions and quota agreements, has reignited debates over protectionism, economic nationalism, and the potential fallout for American businesses and consumers. While Trump and his supporters argue that these tariffs are essential to protect domestic industries, critics warn of devastating consequences, including higher prices, job losses, and retaliatory trade wars. The new tariffs target major U.S. trade partners, including Canada, Mexico, Brazil, South Korea, and Japan, many of whom had previously negotiated special trade agreements with the U.S. Under Trump's latest move, however, those agreements are nullified, leaving these nations scrambling for a response. While the former president claims that this policy will revive American manufacturing and strengthen the domestic steel and aluminum industries, economists and business leaders argue that the costs will far outweigh the benefits. U.S. manufacturers that rely on steel and aluminum, including automakers and construction firms, now face soaring input costs. This could lead to higher prices for consumers, layoffs, and even the relocation of production to countries where materials are cheaper. Ironically, some analysts predict that these tariffs could end up hurting the very workers they are supposed to protect, as retaliatory measures from other nations could lead to reduced demand for U.S. exports. Predictably, Trump's decision has ignited a fierce global response. Canada, one of America's largest trade partners, has announced retaliatory tariffs worth nearly $30 billion Canadian on U.S. steel, aluminum, and other goods. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau condemned the move, calling it an attack on long-standing trade relations. The European Union has also vowed to strike back, proposing countermeasures affecting €26 billion in U.S. exports. European leaders have specifically targeted iconic American products like bourbon whiskey, boats, and motorcycles, a direct challenge to industries that hold significant political influence in the U.S. Many experts see this as the beginning of a full-scale trade war, with unpredictable consequences for global markets. If these tariffs lead to prolonged disputes, they could disrupt supply chains, weaken international partnerships, and push prices even higher. While Trump has dismissed these concerns, insisting that America will emerge stronger, others fear that this could be a self-inflicted wound on the U.S. economy. Trump's tariffs are as much a political statement as they are an economic policy. His America First agenda has always centered on reducing the country's reliance on foreign goods and forcing trade partners into more favorable agreements. However, critics argue that such aggressive measures ignore the realities of a globalized economy, where industries depend on international supply chains and cooperative trade policies. Some see this as a desperate attempt to energize Trump's base by appealing to blue-collar workers in industrial states. Others believe it's a reckless move that prioritizes political optics over economic stability. Regardless of intent, one thing is clear: Trump's tariffs are shaking up global trade, and the consequences could be felt for years to come.